Good morning. Welcome to Midweek Mind Freak. This week we got a great topic, success and how bad do you want it?
Chuck and Angela run multiple million-dollar companies. They are members of Riz Media's Billionaire Club, have coached and mentored thousands of agents, and are international speakers. They say by radically changing your mindset, not only can you change your outlook on life, but affect the actual results you obtain. Welcome to Midweek Mind Freak.
Good morning. Excellent. Well, that was a good start to the morning here today on Midweek Mind Freak. I just read the other day that somebody said with all this pandemic and the days get mixed in, is Wednesday really going to be considered middle of the week anymore?
You did? You heard
that? I actually heard that. So I don't know about the midweek mind freak, but we'll just keep that going, and who cares what everybody else says. But we know what day it is. It's Wednesday, and we're excited to talk about this topic, success and how bad do you want it? Most people want success in their life. Most people strive for some sort of success to feel that accomplishment. But what actually is success? A lot of people think success is about wealth. It's about fame, fortune, power, position, material things. That's probably, when you say success, that's probably what jumps to most people's thoughts. Right?
I think it's the wrong definition, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Well, actually, I looked up the definition of what is success.
Webster's not always right.
Well, I like Webster. He's been around for a long time, and he's very knowledgeable.
He's well reputed.
Reputed?
Yeah. Word of the day, reputed.
All right. Anyway, here's what Webster says about success. It's really that basic. It's the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. That's simple. So in reality, we could break down success on a much smaller way of looking at it is, so for example, let's just say you're going to clean your house, you mow the lawn, or cook a good meal. At the end, you go, success. I had a success. I know you don't cook good meals. I cook good
I really
meals.
don't.
But those little things could be success. And the reason why I mentioned that first is a lot of people that feel like they're not successful base it off of just the bigger things, on the material things, what they've got. So maybe you feel like a failure, which is, I guess, the opposite of success. So
Webster says so.
Webster. I like Webster. So maybe go through life and just start looking at the little things first, the little things that maybe you're accomplishing, and maybe you start to feel good about yourself, that you have success at it. Some of the other bigger successes that don't fall into those categories is maybe success in your relationship. You could have a successful relationship, work at that. Maybe parenting, you're successful at having a family, those type of things, right?
Yeah.
Why are you giving me a face like that?
I don't know. Before we went live, we were making really funny faces, just so you know.
So start with the smaller successes, but today's topic is going to be based around success in business. And that's what we're going to look at, and we're going to base this on. Jim Rohn had a great quote. I like Jim Rohn's quote. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you will fall into someone else's plan. And I guarantee their plan isn't going to be really that much for you. I actually seen a great, I don't know, it was a picture on a website with a quote.
A meme?
No, it's not a meme.
That's what he calls them.
That's what they call it, memes. Anyway, so what it was is this was great. I really love this. It was this business guy standing in, sitting on, like leaning against a brand new Lamborghini. And here's what the quote said. The quote said, "My boss arrived at work today in a brand new Lamborghini." I said, "Wow, what an amazing car." He said, "If you work hard, put in all your hours, and strive for excellence, I'll get another one next year." I mean, and the visual of that was, think about it.
Wow.
Yeah, here's
Yeah.
one admiring this nice Lamborghini, and this guy you would think is giving him this great speech on how to be excellent, only for him to get another Lamborghini. So I don't know if that's you out there, but don't let anybody else control your life or your destiny and what success is.
So Chuck said we're going to focus on success in business. I'm not. I have a little more than that to say.
Okay, you can say whatever you want.
This topic really made me think, because I started to ask myself some questions, because what we do is we decide on a topic, and then he helps with some research. I do my own individual research, and then we kind of put our thoughts together. And especially when we're sitting here at home and we're redefining our businesses, and you guys are redefining the way that your days go, or maybe how your family runs. This topic was very timely for me. And what we're going to do is I want to first say some of the questions that I asked myself and struggled with, because I think that this is a topic that's not thought deeply enough about, because it's kind of like your why. Why do you do something? Why do you exist? Why, what drives you in your life? And it's like somebody saying, well, money, it's not that simple. You don't a why is deeper and has meaning, and it's a part of who you are. And success is the same thing. It's very individualized. What success is to one person cannot possibly be the same to another person. So here are some questions that you should be asking yourself as you dive into your concept of what success is for you. And here are some questions, and they're not easy to answer. What truly matters to me?
So we're giving them really tough questions.
They are tough questions.
Okay.
And I would write these down, or I don't know, can you rewind this later? Maybe rewind it later, but here are some questions. What truly matters to me? What are the things that set me on fire with passion? And hopefully the answer is not nothing. That really sucks. And then what do
Isn't it funny, though, to stop on passion? You go around and people lack passion. It's absolutely amazing. And I think we've become numb to what we have, that most people, even before this happened, even when we were at work, it's like, you're like, where is your passion in anything?
Yeah, that really pisses me off about my kids sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, what are you passionate about? Nothing. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to be a miserable person and I can't help you, So anyway, what are the things that set me on fire with passion? That's a good one. Mm-hmm. And then what do I want to make of my life? Who do I want to be? And finally, what do I want people to say about me after I die? Like, what's going to be their synopsis of me, which would be reflective on some level about what we're going to talk about today, about success.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing that, and we've talked about this for years now, that we walk around like zombies, like the apocalypse or something, that, all we know is how we think. Do you guys really think about that? Do you really ponder those type of things about life? People walk around as if this life is just going to go on and on and on and on. And
yeah, I'm actually really sensitive to that. Like, if I start to get in a spot, we talk about this about each other. If I start to get in a spot where I kind of feel numb and I don't really feel like I have a sense of purpose or something like that, zombie-ish like, I stop and I go, okay, wait, I got to figure out why this is happening. Because you let that go on too long, it becomes your natural state, right? You got to fight against that because there's a reason behind that. So I think this topic is it's very timely, and it's extremely important for you guys to think about deeply.
Yeah, so process all of those type of things, where you're at in your life. have these thoughts, because if we're saying to you right now about, wow, I don't think that way, or those thoughts don't cross my mind, it's because you're not thinking of it. And like we do, is this is about mindset.
Yep.
And radically changing your thinking. When you radically change your thinking, these things become to the forefront of your mind. So we're going to talk about, what are you laughing at?
I don't know. I'm waiting for something. Go.
You're waiting for me to say something. So we're going to really hit home on how bad do you want it? And it falls into that actions speak louder than words. Because the challenge with success is getting out of your comfort zone. And too many of us have been comfortable. And I think that's why right now people are like very edgy and very concerned and right down to worried and scared. You know why? You know why I think that we're not in that mindset is because their comfort zone has been affected. It's like that's the false sense of comfort. We never look at that. We always try to keep ourselves uncomfortable in life so that when things like this happen, all right, it's just another thing that we have to pivot and change. And how do we do something to move forward? It's just another speed bump in the road of life.
Part of the journey.
Part of the journey,
Yeah.
which we talk about. So, so getting out of your comfort zone requires action, requires doing something that, quite honestly, your body resists. You know, by nature, everybody likes to be comfortable. That's most people. I like comfort sometimes, but I don't know. I feed off of that being on edge and the challenges. And I know I talk to most people and they don't like that. They don't like that feeling.
And when you're thinking about those questions that I just mentioned, also think about, we're going to talk about some aspects of success or some thoughts about success. These thoughts should be part of your seeking of the answers to the questions.
Yeah, Zig Ziglar wrote a book, Born to Win, and in his book he says success cannot be defined in one sentence. It's comprised of many things. So success is not something you just put in a box. And we're going to talk about that right now. We're going to go over a bunch of things that I want you to jog your thought process. And maybe it will help you define what is success to you. What should you be thriving for? So the first one is, which I think we try to instill even in our kids. Success is always doing your best, no matter what, doing your best. And a lot of people just, it's like you check off the box. What puts me in perspective of always doing my best and never doing it for someone else or get a gratification from someone else. Here's what I do all the time is I always say, what does God say for me to do it? I do everything to glorify him. So if my big why is to glorify God in everything I do, well, then everything I do better be done at my best, regardless of the outcome. So that's the first thing to ponder on.
We've said this story a million times, but little teeny things like God will pat me on the shoulder, pick up that little piece of paper off the ground, or put your card away for God's sakes. You know, you've got to start with the little teeny things of doing your best, and they grow into the big things. You
want to like smack some people. I watch people take a cart and they put it right behind the car next to them.
You're so violent.
You want to just like, God, you lazy shit.
Wow.
Now, if that's a thought process, that is. No, if that's you, get that little us in your mind.
Yeah.
Lazy.
Don't
Little
be lazy.
things will help you become successful.
Yeah, put this on your ringtone. Don't be lazy.
Yeah.
Don't be lazy. Okay, another aspect of success is you have in your mind a place that you can call home. Now, I'm not talking about a house, right? So what I mean by that is I know that I have certain success because there's home, a place where, did you want to bite my finger?
No, I thought you were going to poke me in my eye.
No, though success, when you're thinking about success, where is that place or that, those people that make you feel like you have a home?
We actually miss our home in the office.
I do.
I miss my little
I do. I'm going to talk
office
about that later.
family. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
I do. I mean, I'm an introvert, really. I am. And I miss my part of my home. Here's my main home right here, but I have some guest houses out there. Right. So that's something that you should think about when you're thinking about success. Do you truly have a place that you call home?
The next one I want to talk about success is understanding the difference between want and need. And wow, boy, right now we're really starting to feel that. And, I hear people saying after this is done, boy, we're going to start to really review of what is normal, what are the things we need, and what are the things we just want.
Turns out I don't need eyelashes.
How about eyebrows? In the next segment, let's shave your eyebrows and see if you need them.
Oh, I was talking about my extensions.
I know what you were talking about.
Oh my God, wait, segue story. I heard the funniest thing this morning when I was watching The Voice, like a rerun of The Voice, and Kelly Clarkson was talking about her Spanx. And then somebody asked her, what happens if your Spanx breaks? And Blake Shelton goes, those little biscuit things where you go like this and you break the biscuit?
All right. That's a visual.
So
all right.
Funny.
All right. Go.
All right. Squirrel.
God, you're
Oh my God, come on. You're laughing, some of you.
Yes.
Okay, so success is knowing that your life is filled with abundance. I think it's remarkable, the dichotomy of reactions to what's going on right now. Did somebody?
I guess someone feels your pain right there. Deirdre feels your pain.
Thanks, Deirdre. So success is understanding abundance. Like it's unusually, it's disturbing. I'm going to say disturbing. People's reactions where they're focusing on what they don't have, what they've lost, what they're afraid of, which I'll talk about later. When, oh my gosh, all this is bubbling out of me I am so grateful. I'm grateful for my relationships. I'm grateful for being a good steward. There are so many things in abundance that we have, down to our weather. Can you imagine being like on the East Coast right now where it's still snowing and you're cooped up in your house and you can't even go out in our beautiful sunshine and take a walk?
April wants you can put the dough back in the can.
You're laughing about that. So you guys have to take this time to focus. When you think about success is also qualities within yourself, and quality of being grateful and recognizing the abundance in your life is part of your mindset that will make sure that it contributes to what success is in your life.
The next one to think about is success sometimes means you have to say no. No. What
Complete sentence.
No is a complete sentence. Mm-hmm. We learned that for many years that some of the big top people who are successful, one of the things they said is the most important thing that they've learned is learning how to say no. No. Maybe some of you need to say no to being lazy, like no TV, no Netflix for a while. Get out there and work. So no is a complete sentence. Say it to the right stuff, though, right? Yes. Don't say no to work.
Yeah.
I could see somebody out there going, oh, Chuck said say no.
I thought one of the coolest things I've heard about that was sometimes you have to say no to good things so you can say yes to great things.
Oh.
I thought that was awesome. That's
what I did. I said no to a lot of good things, and look what I got. I said yes to this great thing.
I can't believe he loves me like he does. Mm-hmm. It's very nice, actually.
Yep.
So success is also part of your definition needs to be success is overcoming fear. Zig Ziglar said that fear has two meanings. Forget everything and run, F-E-A-R, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And this is such a testament in my life because I was a worrier. I was concerned. I worry for everybody, and letting go of a fear is an ecstatic feeling. To overcome fear and not have that part of your everyday life and your thinking is definitely a contributor to success. And you will feel that ecstatic feeling of overcoming fear. You got to get over that.
Then this is a big one. This is, I think, a good driving force for us in success. Success is understanding you will only succeed if you help enough people to succeed.
Absolutely.
That to us is kind of our driving factor in our success and why we're so blessed. Because I love this quote. It says, "Success is not measured by how you have climbed, but how many people you brought with you." And I think that was, quite honestly, when people looked at us, they were very confused on why would we take such a successful company. And remember what they're basing it on. They're basing the successful company, we're talking about Revelation right now, $15 million company making millions. I mean, we had, from the standpoint of the outside looking in, they judged the success by the money and the production. But see, the reason why we felt that we weren't successful with it is we were the ones making the money and getting the fame and the glory, and wasn't able to help us take other people with us
in the same way that we can now.
Right. And it's, if people don't understand out there why we did what we did, this one right here about understanding you will only succeed if you help enough people succeed. That was the driving factor for EXP.
Yeah, when you boiled it down.
And I think that's why a lot of people really, really don't get that concept of that company. Is this concept right here is life-changing for successful people to get it. Who are you taking with you is huge. I mean, it's that to me, if you could change that in your mind, that's a game changer.
Yep.
And we're blessed that thought was in our mind.
Another really good aspect of success is not giving up. I mean, it's not quitting, right? If you aren't a quitter, then you have deep success, because most people quit. They quit. That's their MO. They quit relationships. They quit their jobs. They quit trying. They quit learning. They quit, right? And so if you can just get in your mind that in every single way possible, don't be a quitter. That is just a huge deal for success, that persistence and the resistance to quitting.
And the last one I got for you guys, because I don't think you have any more.
I have one more. No,
You do?
I have one more very important one. You can't look at it.
You have one more.
She's trying to steal mine.
No. So success is standing your ground when you believe in something. That is powerful, guys. And I think it falls into the mindset of don't be a people pleaser. If you believe in something with all your heart, stick to it, stand your ground. That's what makes us who we are. When I have something that I believe and drive, I mean, it's not easy. People will lash out. It's amazing how many haters you could accumulate because you go against the grain for standing up for something you believe in. And it's hard sometimes. It really is hard not to let that affect you. But I'm sitting here going, what we do, we believe in with all our heart, and it falls into these other things, just like we're taking enough people with us to help be successful. So guys, stand up for what you believe in and stop being a people pleaser.
And then ultimately, when I really boiled down what the foundational meaning of success is, ultimately success to me is a gift. And what I mean by that is it's a gift from God. And for me, it's called faith. It's called faith. God opened my eyes to see his son, Jesus Christ, that I'm a sinner in need of a savior. And the gift of faith is is my ultimate success, because now I get to do two things. I get to live life like the psalmist describes in Psalm 37, 3-5. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. I get to live my life that way. And at the end of my life, remember that question, what are people going to say about you when you die? Well, here's what I get to say. I don't need to fear death. I can say, like Paul said in 2 Timothy 4, 7 and 8, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finally, and I love this one, finally, there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give to me on that day, and not to me only, but also to all who have loved his appearing. That to me is the foundational, ultimate success.
Well done, good and faithful servant. Oh, speaking of which, Paul, I have to apologize to you. I never responded to your email. Paul wants to be a guest on the show one day. We haven't had any guests, but boy, if we're going to have one day, Paul will be.
That's right, because he's funny too.
I love this guy. So thanks, Paul. Lastly, just to leave a visual in your mind, guys, success is not a goal. It's not a goal. It's a journey. We're on a journey, guys. And when you can process that in your mind, that it's a journey, you start to have a different way of looking at things. Because here's the visual I have. Picture your journey as you're climbing a mountain. So the mountain in front of you is whatever tasks in front of you that you're going to overcome. When you get to the top of the mountain, you don't look and see nothing. There are more mountains, some bigger, some smaller, but it's part of the journey that you're going to go on. And that's the way you need to look at it. These mountains are just part of the journey that you're going to overcome. And the way I look at it, and I know, Angela, you're similar, is if there's a mountain in front of us, I'm going to climb it. And when we get to the top, the next thing I want to look at is, what is that next mountain going to look like?
Well, it's because we think of it as a journey and not a destination. That's just a mindset.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to leave you off one more analogy to think about.
I love his analogies.
If you're out there and you expect someone else to do the things for you, so meaning you're the type of person that likes to blame people, that one didn't do this for me, this one promised me this, I didn't get this, and this is why I didn't succeed. Let's look at that mountain analogy again. And basically what you're asking is for someone to put you on their back and climb that mountain in front of you. And then when they get to the top with you still on their back, the rest of those mountains in front of you, you want them to walk and have you climb those with you on their back. You would think that's absurd. Well, that's what you're asking when you want to point a finger and say, I expect them to do that for me. Those are your mountains to climb, you and only you. Now, it doesn't mean that someone could walk side by side with you.
Lock arms with you. Mm-hmm.
And help you walk those mountains. That's what I want to leave it off, guys. Success is your challenge. How bad do you want it? And I'm amazed that I'm sitting here going, people say they want it bad, but they're not willing to do what it takes. So our prayer for you guys is to have a great rest of the week and change your mindset. Do you want to leave off with anything there, love? I heard you breathe.
I'm just trying to stay alive.
Stay alive.
No.
That's it. Well, I hope you guys have a great week. We are looking forward to next week with our live midweek Mind Freak. God bless you guys.